People pleasing, I don't like to use the term I am a people pleaser. I prefer to use the term I have people pleasing tendencies. And I think that's because if I say I am a people pleaser, it's defining me. It's saying that I am this. I am this and there is no way of changing that. But if I say I have people pleasing tendencies, that makes it seem like it's something you can work on. It makes it seem like it's something that you can improve. Um, and this is the topic that I want to talk about today, which is people pleasing and low self esteem and emotional neglect. Just super light-hearted topics we're gonna talk about today, because that's all I like talking about is just some fun, light-hearted topics, guys. Come on, sit down, get all cozy, you know. So, for I remember I so growing up, I remember my feelings were very neglected. I grew up feeling very neglected emotionally as a child. I grew up feeling that's how people pleasing starts. That's where people pleasing starts, and that's how it started for me. Was I would People pleasing starts when your emotions are invalidated as a child. They start so when my emotions were invalidated, if my emotions were neglected as a child, I internalized that. I internalized that as a child, and it made me think that, like, oh, my feelings don't matter. I am a burden for thinking that my feelings matter. I have to prioritize other people's feelings, and I just have to ignore mine. That's what creates people pleasing. Is you internalize this feeling that your emotions don't matter. Your feelings don't matter. And you have to prioritize other people's well being, other people's feelings at the expense of your own. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And it caused this lack of self confidence. It caused this low self esteem. Even if I wasn't aware of it, even if I wasn't aware of it at the time, because again, I would neglect my own feelings and I'd be like, oh, doesn't matter, because I assumed that I was being selfish. I assumed that, like, oh, this is just me being selfless, being nice by putting other people's feelings ahead of my own. That's what I thought for the longest time. I thought that I was being this selfless, just really just. I thought I was just like being. I thought I was just being like nice because for if you think about it, if you grew up your whole life never having your feelings validated, never having your emotions seen or heard, you don't know what that's like. So you learn that, like, this is all I know. This must be right. This must be right. It can't be that, like, oh no, I was hurt as a kid. I was neglected as a kid. No, 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 no. I am doing the right thing. This is what's right. It can't be the other way around. It wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even a thought that crossed my mind because I believed wholeheartedly that I was just being selfless and nice. And yes, it is good to be selfless. It is good to be. Being nice is overrated, in my opinion. Being nice is anybody can be nice, but well, we won't get into that. But I yeah, and it wasn't until a couple years ago where I started to realize that, man, man, I'm always putting other people's feelings first. I'm always putting other people's priorities first. And man, I feel really lonely. I feel really. It was the first time where I realized it's like, man, what about my feelings? It was literally, it was like, whoa, I have feelings. I have feelings. I am a person. And I remember when I started to like realize that, like, when I started to prioritize my own feelings, I would have family members call me selfish. I would have family members call me selfish, being like, Ethan, what are you doing? Why are you acting like this? This isn't who you are. You're being so selfish right now. And I felt guilty, like anyone would. And I was like, but this is how I really feel. This is how I really feel. It was the first time where I was being honest. I was being honest with how I felt. And with that, with me being honest, I was being punished for it. Not really being punished, but I was being invalidated. I was being invalidated for how I felt, and it was like that. It was the first time where I was like, I don't like this. I don't like being invalidated. I don't like being neglected. I don't like this. And it was like the first time where it was like, I started to just come into my own person, and I was like, hey, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this. And that's just like something that's it's I thought for the longest time that prioritizing your own feelings, prioritizing your own needs was bad. I thought it was bad too. I thought it was selfish. I thought it was like, yeah, I thought it was just selfish. And I thought it was just like, it just made me feel bad when I was younger. It made me feel like guilty for like putting my own needs first and putting my own feelings first. Not even putting them first, just prioritizing them, which I guess is putting them first, but like just feeling them, just allowing myself to be like, hey, I'm tired of like, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted because I remember like, and this is gonna take a turn into like the low self esteem part. I remember I would spend so much time trying to impress other people when I was in high school. I would dress a certain way, dress in super uncomfortable clothes that didn't feel like me. I would act a certain way because I thought that's what would make other people like me. I was like a chameleon. I was a chameleon, but it didn't feel right. And it just made me feel even more lonely because I was like, I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't feel, deep down, I felt empty. I just felt empty and I was looking for anything to fill that emptiness. And it took, man, I just like, it's, it breaks my heart. Not even for myself, but I know a lot of other people struggle with that because I felt so, because that wasn't who I really was. I was just pretending to be this person that I thought other people would like because deep down I didn't like who I was. I didn't like myself. And I thought that if I was this person, if I was this so called like I was basing my entire sense of self off of other people's opinions of me. And that caused me to, I was in other, it was like other people had control over me because I didn't think, I didn't think anything of myself. I was so desperate for the validation of other people. I was so desperate for um, other people to like me that I just didn't think anything of myself. I thought I was like, please, like, approve of me. Please validate me. Because this ties back into childhood. Because I was constantly criticized as a child. When you're constantly being criticized by the people around you, you internalize that. As a kid, at least. You internalize that and you're like, oh, they're right. I am stupid. I am ugly. I am all these negative traits. I am this because as a kid, you don't know any better. You look up to the people around you. You look up to those in your life who you consider your like your guidance. You look up to those people because you don't know what's like your worldview is just so small that like that's all you know. So it's like they must be right. They must be right. I must not be doing enough. I must not be good enough. It must be something I'm doing wrong. That's what I believed for so many years. My entire life growing up was believing that I was just this like this broken, and I always believed that there was something wrong with me. I believed it. I believed that there was something like that I was just less than everyone else. I believed that I was just like not as good as everyone else. I believed that I was missing something in my life that if only I had if I had what other people had, then I'd be happy. No. No. Fuck that. Fuck fuck people pleasing. Fuck putting other people's needs and feelings at the expense of your own. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. No. No. Uh-uh. No more. That's not healthy. That's not selfless. That's when you are neglecting yourself, but you're like, but I'm helping other people. But you're neglecting yourself. You're neglecting your own feelings. I realized when I started to prioritize myself and put my feelings, it's not even that I'm just like, oh fuck other people. Well, maybe a little bit, but like I was like, when I started to just like, I was like, oh my god, my feelings matter. They do. My feelings matter. My life matters. My every like I matter. I matter. I have a place. I matter. And it was at that moment where when I started to feel better about myself and I started to feel more connected to myself. And when I started to feel more connected to myself, I started to feel more connected to other people. Right? It all, it's just, it's something that and there are days where there are days where I go through my phases of like just recently I've been really I still struggle. There are days or phases I have where I have a really where my self-esteem is just really low and my confidence just is plummeting, and like I where I there are days where I regress back into like that person that I like that insecure But that's a part of being human. That's a part of being human. Is just like you're gonna have days where you just don't feel confident. You just don't feel good about yourself. But what I'm really getting at is like, man, it's just being told your whole life that, just imagine being told your whole life that your feelings don't matter. Just imagine. So many people struggle with it. So many people struggle with it. And it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not. It's not okay. And like that's why I'm so open about my mental health. Obviously I don't share everything, but I try to be open about my mental health because nobody was ever open about it growing up in my environment. Nobody was. Nobody was open. So I felt like I was so alone. I felt so alone and so isolated. And that's why I'm yeah. Yeah. But but yeah, just and it's still trust me, it's still something like I've had to cut off certain people from my life because this is a video that I want to make. I'll make it into a separate video of its own because boy howdy, I got a lot of things to say about toxic people. Oh boy, and I'll make notes for that one. That's when you know it's getting serious. But yeah, yeah, I've had to cut off certain people because they were. I realized that they were not good to me. They were not good for me, and I just yeah. I'll get into that later though in a later video, but for now it's just man, I'm so tired of just I'm so done with the whole with putting other people's yes, it's good to be selfless. It's good to be selfless, of course. But at the expense of yourself, no. Not one bit. No way, Jose. No fucking way. That is not selfless. That is not healthy. Putting other people first, yes, it's sometimes good. But at the expense of yourself, people pleasing is not a positive trait. People pleasing is not a positive trait to have. It's not. Neglecting yourself, not a positive trait. Not a positive trait. It's not a positive trait to have. Something it's not something that it's something to work on. It's always something to work on. And it's good to know where it comes from. It's good to know where people pleasing comes from because when I realized it's like, oh, I'm not. It's not that I wasn't born with. I was not born with a low self esteem. You're not born with a low self esteem. You're not born with like all these insecurities. They develop because of the things that have happened to you in your life. Like when you realize like, oh, I'm not. This isn't who I am. This is because of things that have happened to me in my life. So that means there is something to work on. And I can improve myself. I can work on these insecurities. I can work on my self-esteem. And I can improve my life. I can change my life. I never thought that I could change my life. I never thought that I can improve my self-esteem. I never thought that I could feel better about myself. But you can. And it starts with prioritizing your feelings. It starts with prioritizing your mental health. All right? All right. So, yeah. You know what? Screw it. Screw it. Screw it. I want to go longer today. I want to go longer today because, you know what? We're going to talk about toxic people as well. We're going to talk about toxic people as well. I never want to be the person. I never want to be the person that says, I never want to, like, judge someone. I am always the type of person that is like, oh, did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Like, I never want to be the person that immediately is like pointing fingers or like saying like, oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. But, and this, I guess this is good of me to, tie in toxic people to this video because when you, so for example, story time. Are you sitting down? Do you have your snacks? You better. You better. You better. Better. Are you sipping on that cocoa right now? It's raining outside where I am right now. I'm sipping on water. This is not beer, by the way. I don't drink. Also, oh, that's brand. I'm getting off topic. Jesus. Story time. Do I want to tell this? No. But I'm getting off track now. But it's just recognizing that there's a saying where it's like, you are who you surround yourself with. And if you surround yourself with toxic people, if you surround yourself with negative and judgmental people who just want to bring you down and just want to make you feel bad about yourself, you're probably going to feel pretty shitty. You're probably going to feel, now of course it's good to self-reflect. It's good to be like, am I the one being toxic? Am I the one being problematic? Am I the one being judgmental? Absolutely, that is good to reflect. But, and this is why I said I've had to cut out a lot of people from my life because I realized that they were very toxic towards me. They did not, so growing up, I did not have a lot of friends. I was not a very social kid. And the thing is, if you don't think very highly of yourself, if you don't have a very high self-esteem, your relationships with people, like I remember in high school, because humans, social creatures, especially when you're in school, it's kind of hard to be alone all the time. Even though I was alone a lot of the time, I still like wanted friends. I still wanted like socialization. I remember I would surround myself with people who would just treat me like I was like their pet, like I was like disposable. And I thought that was normal. I thought it was like, it kind of felt a little like, oh man, it doesn't make me feel good, but like, hey, it's good to be around people. And man, that's so heartbreaking to think about that, like, because I didn't value myself, because I didn't like think very highly of myself at all, I just would let people treat me poorly because I was just like, I didn't treat myself very kindly, so why would I ever let people treat me kindly, you know? And when people were kind to me, when people were nice to me, it felt uncomfortable. It felt very uncomfortable. But I realized that once you start valuing yourself, and once you realize that, like, oh yeah, those people are toxic. Those people, like, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but there are times where it's like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You are the one that's being toxic. People that just try to bring you down. That try, and I'm not saying everyone's like this, not at all. Not everyone is trying to judge you, or not everyone is trying to harm you. But there are people that are like that, and there have been people like that in my life, and it's good though, because I do value myself more. I am a lot pickier with who I spend my time around, because I realize those people are not worth my time. Those people are not worth my energy. They are not. They are not. I and another thing is like mm, I'm 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 being very vague with things right now because I don't want to reveal everything, but I hmm. there are just certain people that have caused a lot of have caused me a lot of insecurity, have caused me a lot of problems in my life. That's all I'll say. We all have those people. Um, but yeah, but yeah, it's oh man, because like I remember, God, I can talk about this, and I will talk about this for as long as I want because I want to. This is a longer podcast episode, so fuck it. Um, yeah, yeah. I just boundaries are very important. Setting boundaries with other people is very important, and that's something I'm learning. Cutting off toxic people. You know, I never like to label toxic people as like bad people because we as humans, we're all flawed. We all have our toxic traits, but there comes a limit where it's like, you are you don't treat me kindly. You are not treating me. You are not. I don't want you in my life. um, which may sound harsh, but sometimes you need to be. Sometimes I don't have the energy to put up with that shit anymore. I just don't. It's not even like a jaded response. It's just like I'm not. You're not worth my fucking time. You are not worth my energy. Um, and I have to remind myself of that. Is that like why do I give? Don't give. You know that's like kind of what I'm trying to say. Don't give. You know people that just want to bring you down because there's always going to be people that are like that. Not. I wouldn't. Say, I would say it's the minority of people. I would say that. But there are people that are like that who just want to bring you down and see you fail and want to see you fall flat on your face. Don't give those people your time and energy. And yeah, it can like give you a little maybe it can sometimes give you a little bit of motivation to be like, like, all right, motherfuckers. And you know what? Hats off to you because that's what I did when it came to like motivation and certain things. But in the long term, it's like don't give those people your time. Don't give those people your energy. They don't deserve it. They clearly don't care about you. They clearly don't. They don't. They don't care about you. They don't. They don't like you. They just. They just want to bring you down because it's entertaining. They just want to make fun of you. And yes, I'm learning that like most people are not like that. Most people aren't like that. But there are people that are like that. And my message to anyone who's dealing with those types of people, don't give them don't give them your energy. Don't give them their time. They clearly don't care about you. They clearly don't prioritize you. And that's the thing is when you start valuing yourself and you start thinking, when you start improving your self-esteem and you start taking care of yourself and you start prioritizing your own well-being, your confidence goes up and you're like, "Oh, I don't give a fuck about your approval. I don't give a fuck about you. Why? I'm not getting like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you." Oh, my light died. Oh, fuck. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. But yeah, that's kind of the video I wanted to make today. Is basically just prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your well-being, prioritizing your feelings, not letting toxic people invade your life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, I hope this helped anybody. Um, make sure to take care of your mental health. Look after yourselves. It's not. It's okay. It's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to prioritize your feelings. Okay. I will see you all in whatever video I make next. All right. Have a good one.